Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something really important: relationship dynamics and how to avoid common mistakes that can damage trust and connection. Whether you're single, dating, or in a long-term relationship, understanding these pitfalls can help you build healthier, more fulfilling relationships. So let's jump into 12 things that smart men should avoid doing with women. Don't interrupt or talk over her. When she's speaking, give her your full attention. Interrupting sends the message that what you have to say is more important than what she's sharing. Research shows that men tend to interrupt women significantly more than they interrupt other men. Being aware of this tendency is the first step to changing it. Don't dismiss her feelings. Saying things like, "You're overreacting," or "It's not that big a deal," invalidates her emotional experience. Instead of dismissing feelings, try to understand where they're coming from. I'd be happy to explain this section in more detail. The concept of mansplaining. Mansplaining refers to when a man explains something to a woman in a condescending, overconfident, or oversimplified manner, often assuming she doesn't understand the topic, even when she has equal or greater knowledge on the subject. The term became popular after Rebecca Solnit's 2008 essay, "Men Explain Things to Me," though she didn't use the exact term. Why it's problematic. This behavior is problematic for several reasons. 1. It assumes a knowledge gap based on gender. 2. It shows a lack of respect for the woman's intelligence and expertise. 3. It creates an unnecessary power dynamic in conversation. 4. It often involves interrupting or talking over women. Real-world examples. Some common scenarios include a man explaining to a female doctor how the human body works, explaining to a woman how pregnancy feels, telling a female engineer how technology works, explaining to a female author about the publishing industry. The psychology behind it. This behavior often stems from unconscious bias rather than intentional disrespect. Many men who mansplain aren't aware they're doing it. It's often the result of socialized behaviors and implicit assumptions about gender and knowledge. How to avoid it. The script suggests 2 main strategies. 1. Ask first. Have you heard about? Or, are you familiar with? Listen first. Let her speak about the topic before jumping in with explanations. Additional strategies could include: pay attention to nonverbal cues that suggest she's already knowledgeable. Catch yourself if you find you're using an unnecessarily simplified tone. Be open to learning from women rather than always positioning yourself as the teacher. For the video. For the B-roll suggestion in the script, I envisioned 1. A humorous example showing a classic mansplaining scenario, perhaps a man explaining something basic to a woman who is clearly an expert. 2. Then showing a better approach, the same man asking if she's familiar with the topic, then listening attentively to her expertise. This section works well in the video because it's a common experience that many viewers will recognize, either from being on the receiving end or realizing they've done it themselves. It provides a clear, actionable way to improve communication without being accusatory. Does this explanation help clarify the section? Would you like me to elaborate on any particular aspect of it? I'd be happy to explain this section in more detail. The silent treatment. What it is. The silent treatment occurs when someone completely stops communicating, ignores and refuses to acknowledge another person. It's different from simply needing space or time to think. It's characterized by 1. Refusing to respond to questions or statements. 2. Avoiding eye contact. 3. Acting as if the other person isn't there. 4. Deliberately withholding communication as punishment. Why it's harmful. The silent treatment is considered a form of emotional manipulation because 1. It creates uncertainty. The recipient doesn't know when or if the silence will end, too. It establishes control. The person giving the silent treatment holds all the power in deciding when communication resumes. 3. It prevents resolution. Problems can't be solved when one person refuses to engage. 4. It causes emotional distress. Research shows it activates the same areas of the brain as physical pain. 5. It's a form of rejection. Humans are social beings, and being ignored triggers deep-seated fears of abandonment. In long-term relationships, repeated use of the silent treatment is considered a form of emotional abuse and can lead to anxiety, depression, and damaged self-esteem in the recipient. The healthy alternative. The script suggests communicating your needs directly. I need some time to think about this. Can we talk in an hour? This approach is effective because it 1. Acknowledges that you need space, which is valid. 2. Sets a clear time frame, reducing anxiety. 3. Shows respect for the other person's feelings. 4. Maintains the relationship while processing emotions. 5. Keeps the lines of communication open. Alternatives. For the graphics suggested in the script, here are some examples of better alternatives to the silent treatment. I'm feeling overwhelmed right now. I need 20 minutes to calm down before we continue this conversation. I'm too angry to discuss this productively. Let's take a break and come back to it after dinner. I need to process what you've said. Can we talk about this tomorrow when I've had time to think? I'm not ignoring you, but I need some space. I'll text you when I'm ready to talk. Video presentation. For this section in the video, the graphic would display these alternatives, while the host explains why the silent treatment is harmful and how these alternative approaches respect both partners' needs. This section is particularly important because many people don't realize that the silent treatment is a form of emotional manipulation. They may have grown up seeing it modeled or use it without understanding its impact. By providing clear alternatives, the video gives viewers practical tools to improve their relationship communication. Is there any specific aspect of this section you'd like me to elaborate on further? Don't make assumptions about her interests. Don't assume she doesn't know about sports, cars, finance, or other traditionally male topics. Similarly, don't assume she loves shopping or romantic comedies. Treat her as an individual with her own unique interests. Relationship behaviors. Now let's talk about behaviors that undermine trust and respect in relationships. Don't try to fix everything. Sometimes she just wants to be heard, not for you to solve her problems. Ask whether she wants solutions or simply a listening ear. This simple question can prevent a lot of frustration on both sides. Don't compare her to other women. This includes exes, female friends, celebrities, or anyone else. Comparisons, even if meant as compliments, often come across as judgmental or make her feel insecure. Appreciate her for who she is. Don't keep score. Relationships aren't competitions. Keeping mental tallies of who did what or who owes whom creates an unhealthy dynamic. Instead, approach your relationship as a team where both people contribute in different ways. Don't disrespect her in public. This includes harmless jokes at her expense, sharing private information, or undermining her in front of others. How you treat her when others are watching says a lot about your character and how much you value the relationship. Don't make important decisions without her input. Whether it's financial decisions, plans that affect both of you, or relationship milestones, unilateral decision-making breeds resentment. True partnership means considering each other's needs and perspectives. Deeper issues. These last two issues run deeper and can have the most serious consequences for relationships. Don't try to control her. This includes who she sees, what she wears, how she spends her money, or what she does with her time. Controlling behavior is not love. It's about power and insecurity. Healthy relationships are built on trust and respecting each other's autonomy. If you find yourself wanting to control your partner's choices, this might be something to explore with a therapist. Often these tendencies come from our own past experiences or insecurities. Don't neglect consent. This applies to everything from physical touch to sharing personal information. Respecting boundaries is fundamental to healthy relationships. Remember that consent should be enthusiastic, ongoing, and can be withdrawn at any time. This isn't just about legal issues. It's about creating a relationship where both people feel safe, respected, and valued. When both partners practice good consent, trust deepens and the relationship becomes stronger. So there you have it, 12 things that smart men should avoid doing with women. None of us are perfect, and we all make mistakes. The key is to be willing to learn, grow, and do better. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content on building healthy relationships. And remember to hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video.